All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to my series on teaching the dailies and with a focus on intuition. So I feel like for this, I'm going to probably just alternate between level 6 and 7 just because they're both equally, I would say, instructive and, they're about the same skill level. Maybe level 7 can have a little bit more higher quality games, but overall they're both the same, I think. So let's go on to our first game here. We have a 3 of 6 venue on pub and then 13 guests, 330. No inspect, so bug or seduce and contact are going to come pre-checked, and then it's just going to become about checking bug, swap, fingerprint, or purloin. So let's get into it. So we have AH, still need to memorize statues, unfortunately. Watching for bug here. So still watching for bug. Okay, so no bug's gone off that I saw, but we are going to credit Wheels because he did have a lot of bumps with the ambassador early on, and I wasn't really able to get a good look at him, so. And we have a swap. Yeah, so remember, we still needed to remember the statue at the beginning, so I did that, and we have our first win, just because it got changed to a B statue instead of the A statue, and easily enough. So, yeah, looks like we failed a bug, we ended up running out of time, but yeah, you could easily get that game out of the way in 20 seconds or less if you just memorize swaps at the beginning. Even though inspects are off, there is still a need to watch everything else. Okay, so now we have a 4-7 venue. We have our standard courtyard setup, and this is mission counter paradise. So not much that I really need to do other than mission count. So let's go. We have AB, AB, and AB. Watching for time adds here. Taft's the only one who's watch checking. I don't think anyone has rejected a drink yet. Smallman rejects and leaves. Okay, Teal's path looks pretty good. Wheel's path looks okay. Um, I don't know if that was like a missed something or other on Duke, or if that was like a conversation is full and redirect into briefcase. But either way, Duke only has one print, so we can still watch him for the rest of the game. And there's been no swaps. Make sure to keep checking swap. So AB, AB, and so nothing yet. And remember, Ambassador, I believe, started out at the bird statue on the left side, and that's the one Taft is inspecting. So now we have two people with a potential print. So I would say now we should watch where Taft goes. Goes in the middle of Queen and General. And then Duke is just next to Kane. So not much to say right now. We're still kind of waiting for stuff to happen. And perfect, we get bailed because a DA takes the other briefcase. So not much to watch right now. And everybody leaves Taft's conversation. So if he needs another flirt, we'll be able to credit it. But we still have a lot to watch from him. So okay, General. And with a minute left, we still need a bunch of other missions. So I'm expecting Purloin.
Banana bread.
Okay, so Queen. And Taft doesn't have real or any highlight for that matter, but Duke does, and Duke goes next to Kane again. And we get a talk, and I'm expecting him to go into this bird statue right here. So we'll see what he does. Other than that, though, we still need a bunch of missions from everybody else in the venue. So as long as we stay solid and watch, we should just get the free win. Okay, so this would be a shot onto Taft if he had BB. However, he does not have BB, so we're okay right now. We don't need to shoot him. And it's actually to Duke right now, who, yeah. So I think it's Duke. Because Tap isn't even showing any indication of even wanting to go into a BB conversation. And that is also a print, so let's just shoot him right now. Yeah. Did he hit the difficult? I don't know if he did. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, did Ambassador go? Okay, I missed this actually other print, but it's still fine. Also, so I thought that it was a purloin at first, but um, I thought it was just like a random purloin into like the inspects, and maybe that like Duke didn't know where that fingerprint was, and I thought like maybe the fingerprint was just luck, but it turns out that we actually finished the fingerprint there intentionally. It looks like, but we have the briefcase print from the other day or from the other or just from like 2 minutes ago, and then we also have that inspect. So that finishes up the four missions. And I was expecting there to be a difficult print on this statue, and maybe Duke got desperate and he decided to purloin, but he didn't actually purloin. But it did look like a spy purloin, where like you hurry up and reject and leave. So I thought that's what that was. But yeah, I think I want to check with this briefcase again because I'm pretty sure we got stuck on something. So I'm gonna watch from the spy perspective. Yeah, we did. Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, I saw this, and that probably could have already told me that it was the spy, but I honestly didn't really get too good of a look at it, so I just played the game like normal. And you can see kind of when we got down to like this point right here, so before wheels, we only had two people who've even been to statues. And let's look at the banana bread. So during the banana bread, I hurry up and took count of everybody who was in conversation and had a real BB. Oh yeah, this is the other. Okay, this is the other sniper's highlights. So yeah, not my highlights, but I think my highlights at this point were just Taft and Teal. Um, so we have Wheels in conversation. I wasn't really looking at this conversation. I was mainly looking at Duke's conversation. And remember, like this was so half the intuition that you could say is like, oh, well, if a spy does nothing early game, well then they have to do a lot late game, and then you can watch people do stuff late game that like if there's no progress that you sense. But if people have progress early game, then you can kind of watch them go to different places and see and consider what they have, you know? I think after this briefcase, I think we quickly kind of went into a conversation with Kane here, and at this point you can kind of credit maybe Kane as Duke's ST, as the seduction target, and we eventually find ourselves next to Kane again, and so that's what I saw. And then we also had Real BB, so and one Prince. So Duke was pretty much my highest suspect here. Taft wasn't really that much of a suspect. When I'll admit when Taft got that other print, I was a little suspicious, but that's still only three missions. We need another BB, and once he goes to window pass at like 20 some seconds, there's just no way he's going to be there. There's just no way. And so, yeah, we were able to pick up that off of just fingerprints. So, like I said, mainly mission counting, but we did use our intuition to make sure we had the right person there. Okay, so we have David versus Screwloose, and on our standard ballroom setup. So, let's go. Snipe ballroom, one of my favorite venues to snipe. Okay, red dress is the only one with a bug credit, I will say. Okay, rocker is the first offer. Nothing. I'm trying to hold bug down at the moment. I'm still trying to watch the party. I liked his bounce there. Kane could have a bug, and since Kane could have a bug there, and to be completely honest, I wasn't really watching it with the best of angles. Let's see if he double cycles, which he does. And maybe I could watch Salmon for a swap here. I don't know if Duke swapped or not. I'm a little late buns there. It looked like she redirected off of that pad right there. Duke rejects. So Kane goes next to Bling Twin. It's going to be a very difficult game if the yellow triangle goes into Kane's conversation and he just, BBs, but we'll cross that bridge if we get there. I've also just realized I missed a time ad somewhere, so I'm pretty sure. I will admit a little bit I'm a little lost on this game, but it's still okay. Okay, now there's a purloin gone, and so that means it couldn't have been teal, couldn't have been Smallman. And I don't think it would have been salmon. I know that red dress had a was at Windows, so she could have time added. I don't really remember seeing Rocker there, but Rocker is my top suspect for the actual White Pearl line itself. At this point, it's just going to be important to watch the yellow triangle circles and see what happens. But I don't think it's Kane at this point. If it is, then he already has 3 missions and I'm going to lose anyway. Yeah, if it was the spy, I'm sure he would have went right next to Bling Twin again, but I don't think he did, so I'm kind of writing off Kane as the spy. I also don't think Kane even ever went to a window pad, so I'm just going to low light him for mental clarity. There is a real BB, but the only real BB person who has one is Bling Twin, who I think does have an inspect, but nothing else. So yeah, this was an obvious. I would go so much as to say that this is either a really obvious fake, or it's just Bling Twin. Okay, but here's the thing. Now Bling Twin has a print off of the drink. So if I lose this game, I want to lose it because I lost Purloin. I don't want to shoot a random Civ here. So if it's Bling Twin, congrats, he won. Okay, Red Dress now has a difficult print. But seeing as how the game didn't end yet, I don't think that Bling Twin won off of that. And at this point, we are still just watching for the yellow triangle circles. Okay, and actually Red Dress joins. Okay, I think Red Dress might be the spy because she switched yellow contact circles.
Banana bread.
Yeah, I think I'm going to shoot Red Dress here. Yep, and all right, so this was a hard shot because a lot of other people had stuff, but it just shows you that you can play from behind even when you don't think you can. Okay, so I was right about that. Hmm, okay, I had a little hypothesis that she hadn't really sipped for a while, and I think I was kind of right on that because she didn't really sip for like 2 whole minutes. But yeah, okay, okay, all this makes sense because I saw her watch check over in this area. So okay, so I actually did kind of catch the time ad. So time ad was kind of caught. That's why I was like, okay, Red Dress could be the person that it is. And she also had a drink, so I also did give some credit for the purloin. And okay, so let's see how the rest of the game played out. I just credited Seduce. And what's another mission? Well, we had that difficult print, so she at least has one print that I know of. And I will admit the purloin kind of got me a little frazzled, so I kind of stopped paying attention to stuff a lot like halfway through. So yeah, I missed a lot of fingerprints, and so at least like towards the end of the game, I was back on track of things. But I didn't have the other fingerprint. I had the difficult drink print off of Blink Twins drink. And interestingly enough, he goes into a yellow circle and then changes to the other yellow circle. And this is the whole sort of intuition that I'm talking about. Because why would a spy do this? Well, it's because, he wants to have the right BB. And then, yeah, you get the spy BB before 11 seconds. Rocker, our top sus, was out of conversation. Blink Twin already has a real conversation. There's no need to give off more low lights past the 10-second mark if he is the spy. So it's not him. And Salmon, I didn't think did it. Sorry, I didn't think had any Purloin credit. And Wheels, I didn't think it was either. So that brings you just down to Red Dress. And I'm sure I had a couple more people up than Screwloose did, but I wasn't really looking at them. Really, mainly, it was just Blink Twin, Red Dress, and Rocker, I think. And that's kind of it. Salmon I was a little suspicious of, but he still only had like one mission. He only had Purloin and Seduce. In worst case, if he had this Banana Bird at the end, which he didn't. So yeah, that was mainly an intuition shot, and that just shows you how important it is to be an intuitive and a behavioral sniper sometimes, because not everything can just be strict mission counting. We found a shot from behind. All right. So now we have Jumpy Left versus Forward, any 3 of 5, 14, 345, and Purloin Swap Transfer are off, and we have Fingerprints, Inspects, and Bug. So, kind of a harder setup in all honesty, but like it's gonna require some mission count. It's gonna require some seduce tracking, hopefully, to win. So, hopefully, like the spy just kind of does something obvious, but we'll see. I will also use some pathing because I am allowing myself to use pathing, sort of in this. So let's go. Okay, I have to credit red dress there with the bug, and then I am gonna highlight
And
for
the end of red.
statues. Okay, well, I'm assuming it was a BB split. Okay, yeah, I think it's already buns. That's not correct etiquette. Let's see the statue put down. Okay, I mean the etiquette is correct, so I'm expecting her to go into this front conversation and seduce again. Yeah, okay. I'm sold. So this was sort of okay. This is like a really good example of pattern recognition after playing a lot of games. So I don't know if anyone remembers, but I think it was either the last time or two daily series videos ago that I actually had a jumpy left versus forward game, and I think the spy was also buns, and they did banana split and have inspecs, so I shot them. So I think this was also another sort of pattern recognition shot. I kind of assumed it was a BB and a BB split because I saw a lot of people kind of jut out of conversation right after the BB. And then I see her go into middle inspects and then pick up a statue really quickly, but I also saw her get stuck on something. So watch, this is what I saw right here. Yep, I saw that, and then really quick statue pickup, and I just shot because then she went into conversation, waited like 2 or 3 seconds, the casual or the normal spy wait, and then she did another talk. So I shot her, but I definitely would have saw that bug. So yeah, I would have shot her there. Okay. Okay, so pretty standard so far. So oh, we have a Death Tactica sniper game and another standard ballroom setup with 16 guests. All right, so we're halfway there. Maybe we'll find our first 8 of 8 in the focusing on intuition series. So let's go. There's a lot of people that bounced off the ambassador there. So you have HHA and ABH. Teal maybe. I was gonna say Teal is one of the only people, but that was like a really good path, so we will hold off on her for now. Okay, so no Purloin's gone off, which I like. There should be someone with a briefcase. Yep, sorry, but she is a double agent, or at least a suspected double agent, so we have to worry about her. A lot of activity in this party, but White Dress has a pretty good looking bounce. Queen watch checks. I wasn't watching general there, so he could have bugged. Okay, I love that Sorry is also smudging the middle statue print. Okay, Purloin is still there. And Teal actually takes a drink. Okay, Tex with a print. Should be his first one of the game. And Disney returns correctly to the blue bookcase. White Dress. I'm not suspicious of White Dress after that bounce. She's as good of a low light to me, honestly, but I'm going to keep her up just in case. We have Alice. And again, time's kind of winding down, so it's good to sort of watch Purloin a bunch. Oh, and there we go. We found it. We found Alice because there was an SDA. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. The MVP of that entire game was Sorry, this yellow double agent over here. She made this game extremely easy for me, to be honest. She smudged 2 prints for me, and she also now takes the only single she takes the drink with there only being one person in the chain, so therefore it has to be the one person that I saw. And to show you what I saw, we had white dress, but I don't really count white dress, so I wasn't paying attention. I don't count her reject, even if that small window was technically could have been a reject. I saw Alice with a green reject, and okay, now I'm just kind of waiting for it to go off because I think I said like literally 10 seconds before this that you kind of want to start watching Purloin because if I'm not sensing any mission progress, which I wasn't, then the spy needs to probably do Purloin or a bug, and they didn't, or they did, but they just didn't have any credit or any progress, and then guess what? They ended up purloining, which makes sense because they have no progress. And so Nebula didn't really know who the spy was in this game, but of course, when there's no actual activity to be done, yeah, they're obviously going to tame out. Oh, great. Every time I see my own game in the daily, I'm just like, oh god, what did I do? Okay, so it's myself versus Lev, and God knows what I could have possibly even done in this, but we're going to hopefully be able to snipe myself. So, let's go. We have modern, very standard competitive modern setup. 415 is the standard, 21 guests obviously, and then any 4 of 8. So let's go. So we have Nunu, Laugh, and Puff. And okay, Teal passed by the ambassador, but I don't think that she bugged at all. So we have Nunu, Laugh, Puff, with Wheels having the first um, print, or not print, delegate. Now Smallman has a delegate. Okay, so Smallman, Wheels, and Tex at 30 seconds. Maybe this is a swap, I don't know. Nope. Yeah, White Dress has the first print. And now I'm going to try and look for maybe delegates. Okay, General's path looks fine. Queen just went statue to statue, but I don't think she has anything. Okay, Duke's taking a print, but I don't think that's anything to worry about. And there's been no one going to books this entire set, or this entire game. Okay, so if Delegate goes off here, I'm not gonna lie, I might be a little lost. But I'm still watching Bug, or at least I'm trying to. Okay, Duke. I didn't like Texas path into red books, to be honest. I wasn't a big fan. Okay, Kane and both Plane Twin don't have anything, so I'm not worried about them. I'm just gonna reset all the delegate counters until now. So we have Rocker and Tex with delegates, probably ending at 30. Yeah. So at 0:30, their delegates will expire. I'm watching books. Hmm. There's still no banana bread either, by the way. Right now, I'm just trying to keep track of the delegates. So I am probably going to have to focus a little bit.
Banana bread.
Okay, I think it's Seek. He came from that conversation. I don't think there's any delegates over there. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I apologize for going quiet in the middle of that game. There was a lot to focus on, and I didn't want to screw up anything. So there were a couple times in this game that like there were so many people that could have had delegates, and I wasn't really on top of like the timings of all of it that I thought could have been the spies. At some point I remember saying that, but I feel like overall, I don't think many people really had too much crazy progress. Like I didn't really get like a lot of people. Like for example, like what I see late game is I see okay, Irish is taking a briefcase and returning it late. Well, she only has one inspect, so automatically, like even if she has prints, she doesn't have anything else. Really, not a lot of people went to the microfilms, and I was watching them pretty well for a good portion of the game, so I was kind of suspicious of those people, or wasn't suspicious of those people. Um, and so then after that, it really is just all about Delegate. Delegate was the one thing I was worried about. After the BB, I was expecting a sort of a spy Delegate play where like they BB and instantly delegate, but Tex didn't delegate. Plane Twin never delegated. Rocker didn't delegate. And I'll show you where Seek came from at the end of the game there. He left next to Duke and General, both of which did not have any delegates, and I knew that, so uh, if there was mission win countdown right now after Seek took the drink, then I would have immediately shot Seek, but um, obviously no mission progress, so nothing. Teal also didn't really finish missions. I don't think really anyone had any major issues with Prince, because like okay, Tex maybe has Prince, but um, obviously no fourth mission. A lot of people just didn't have a fourth mission, but there was a lot of progress that game. But that was a hard game to watch and a hard game to hold on, but I feel like how I was able to do it was just because I just wasn't sensing enough progress. And I was pretty on top of a few things, so there's only a few things that were going to sneak by me that game, maybe like fingerprint slash microfilm, but delegates, I would say that I was focusing hard enough to where I could probably pay attention. Okay, so we are 6-0. We have two games left. Interpunked versus Guggy on 4 of 8 High Rise. So High Rise is an annoying venue only because of all the stuff that you can do, and your view is kind of spread out in three different areas: on the left, the middle, and that right statue set. And at the beginning of the game, you got to watch for the statue set cheese at the beginning, and you also got to watch for the whole chaos time of chaos bug in the middle of that window pane in the back. So that's what I'm going to be looking for first, and hopefully I can catch any early swaps if they try to do any of that. So let's go. Maybe this will be our first 8 of 8. We're 2 away. And no one spawns next to the ambassador, which is absolutely perfect. Okay, so we have sheep on the right side. All right, there is our spy. And there's nothing more to this shot than I was just trying to pay attention to the entire party to make sure that they don't get any free missions passed. I was going to watch Plain Twin and Teal for a little bit and then swipe over to White Dress because I saw her at Green Bookcase. And because I also want to keep Ambassador in my view, so I figured I could do two at once by watching books and by watching Ambassador. Okay, well, I saw a really quick early white microfilm from I believe I think we're Plain Twin, right? No, we're Bling Twin. My bad, Bling Twin. Yeah, and then we go to statues, swap the statue. It's never even looked at by Guggy, and yeah. That's wow. This was a pretty funny game because we do a hard tell, we do another hard tell, we do inspects, and we also do another bug, so another hard tell. And we also have contact, and we just forego the flirt. So yeah, this might have been a pretty simple game this night, but yeah, it's just this is just basically mission counting. No intuition needed, just making sure that nothing weird is happening in the beginning of the party. Okay, and then yeah, we have a pretty easy setup for our last one. However, I have said that and lost before, so don't want to be too cocky at the end here. But we're on our eighth and final game, and if I win this one, it'll be our first recorded 8 of 8 level 6, I believe, that I actually talked through. So, turns into terrible versus buffolable. I don't know what those mean, but bug and inspects are off, and so seduce and contact, and then another hard tell basically needs done. So we kind of have a nice little reprieve from some hard setups. And pub has a lot of pathing, so it's going to be nice to watch etiquette pathing on this venue. But I am also going to be watching some flirting. So let's go. Our final one. Let's go for the 8 of 8. Okay, so we have Scream, so AH, and we have Buns with an immediate time ad or time check, my bad, or watch check. I feel like Disney was waiting at the bar a long time. That might be a minor etiquette thing that I noticed, but we'll see. Let's watch Sari's path out of the bar. Looks good. Okay, but I mean, he has pretty good etiquette with the briefcase. And so now the only two people with any sort of mission credit are just James Bond and Rocker. All right, and then don't forget to still watch statues, so don't just only watch one thing. I'm already thinking right now that, okay, yeah, okay, that was a etiquette break, but we will still wait. Just to confirm, this was another etiquette break. That briefcase was way too close to the ambassador there, because if it wasn't, otherwise Queen would have got redirected off of it. That's just a very weird return, and we can't bug, so... Oh, was it a green swap too? Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay. Yeah, so at this point in time, the spy is salmon, and I know 100% it's salmon. I'm not really at this point in time. I'm not. I'm just playing it out so I could analyze in the game. Yeah, I would have been looking at Rocker. Rocker's path looks good. Looks really good, in fact. I'm gonna assume that Sam is gonna go and delegate. Yeah, pathing. He should delegate to Smallman. I'm gonna watch his animation. Oh, he could BB first because his white dress might be the double agent though. Okay, I don't know if that was correct to sit etiquette or not. I wasn't watching. Now I'll watch. Okay, now would be a good time, but now it's not. If he sips now, it's gonna be incorrect. Yeah, and now I'm like 100% confident in my mission count. Like he doesn't have anything, so he's already broken a million etiquette rules, and so I already know he's a spy, so there's really not much else to say. Okay, but we don't delegate. But maybe Buns is our ST, so we need to go flirt before this game's over. Okay, they should leave at the same time now. Well, maybe not. Well, 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Yeah, I mean he just doesn't even. Yeah. Okay, I'm expecting a timeout here, and if he timeouts, I'm just gonna cut this off and shoot him. But he still doesn't, so I mean, hey. Okay, yeah, so he doesn't time ad, almost misses bar, doesn't demand a drink. He's just gonna time out here. I mean, there's no time left for him to even get a drink from Toby. Yeah. And I'm assuming we want a last minute swap. Yeah, there's nothing left to play for there. Okay, and we get our first 8 out of 8, our first 8-0 in the level 6. That's actually recorded I'm talking through. We were AI controlled a little bit, which is why I'm trying not to take AI, like, I'm not trying to take pathing lowlights. I'm just kind of mentioning overall people's paths. And because I feel like I said, there's a bunch of evidence that goes into a calculated guess on who the spy is. So I feel like by lowlighting, I feel like you're eliminating at least, you know, one of the evidence, which is that, like, you can't really mission count for them anymore. Yeah, I thought this was gonna be, so this is where I knew it was the spy, because I was like, okay, I need to watch this swap maybe. And I'll show you that he breaks etiquette. He should put down now. But yep, he put down late. You can see he kind of canceled his animation and then takes an illegal briefcase. That is just way too close to the ambassador. And yeah, so that is just a 8 of 8. All right, so we did it. We got an 8 of 8 recorded daily. I will say some of these games were a little bit easier. And if you're really good at just making sure you're taking in every single thing in the party, then um, it will be a little bit easier, obviously. But um, yeah, this was a pretty good set. I don't really have much other thoughts. There was a lot of just good catches that I made, and that just won me the game. Like the white microfilm, this etiquette break. What else? I kind of saw the catch on Duke statue, the BB, and get caught on the thing in a high rise. Just a lot of little things that, like, if you're as long as you're not tunneling, you should be able to catch at least maybe 50% of these things. But anyway, that's it for this video. You see that sweet, sweet 8-0. That took us 18 minutes total in-game time. So thanks everyone for watching. As always, I hope this was instructive, and hopefully see you next time in the level 7. Peace.